We've all heard it before: if you just try harder, you'll get there. It's ingrained in us from an early age, this belief that sheer willpower and determination are the keys to success. But what if I told you that trying harder isn't the answer? That in some cases, it's the very thing holding you back? Stick with me, because today, we're going to dismantle this myth. We'll explore why trying harder can actually hurt you, and more importantly, what you should be doing instead. Let's start by unpacking the try harder mentality. The logic seems straightforward: if you're not succeeding, it must be because you're not putting in enough effort. It's the cornerstone of hustle culture, the idea that grinding, pushing, and working relentlessly is the only path to achievement. But here's the thing: effort alone doesn't guarantee success. In fact, there's a psychological phenomenon called the effort trap. It's when you're so focused on trying harder that you fail to see the bigger picture. You end up spinning your wheels, exhausting yourself, and wondering why you're not making progress. The science of diminishing returns. There's a concept in economics called diminishing returns, and it applies to your effort too. Initially, putting in more effort yields better results. But beyond a certain point, those results plateau. Trying harder doesn't give you more, it just drains you. Think about it: how often have you stayed up late, forcing yourself to finish a project, only to end up making mistakes because you're so tired? Or pushed yourself at the gym, only to injure yourself because you ignored your body's signals? Sometimes, less is more. And that's a tough pill to swallow in a world that glorifies non-stop hustle. Why trying harder feels comfortable? Here's an uncomfortable truth: we cling to trying harder because it feels safe. It gives us a sense of control. If we just work a little more, try a little harder, we tell ourselves we'll fix everything. But what if the problem isn't effort? What if the real issue is your approach? This is where things get interesting. Because if effort isn't the answer, then what is? Scene 4, the power of working smarter, not harder. The first step is to work smarter, not harder. It's a cliché for a reason: it works. Instead of doubling down on what's not working, step back. Look at the situation from a new angle. Ask yourself, am I focusing on the right priorities? Is there a simpler way to achieve this? Do I need to ask for help or delegate? Sometimes, the smartest move is to stop pushing and start strategizing. Here's another secret: rest isn't a luxury. It's a strategy. When you're constantly trying harder, you leave no room for recovery, creativity, or perspective. Some of history's greatest minds, from Albert Einstein to Maya Angelou, understood this. They knew the value of stepping away to recharge. It's often in moments of rest that breakthroughs happen. Another game changer? Shift your focus from goals to systems. Goals are important, but they're not the whole picture. It's your daily habits, routines, and systems that drive real progress. For example, instead of saying, "I want to write a book," focus on building a habit of writing for 30 minutes a day. Instead of aiming to lose 20 pounds, commit to cooking healthy meals 5 times a week. Systems create sustainable progress. Goals are just the byproduct. Finally, let's talk about self-compassion. When you're stuck in the try harder cycle, it's easy to be your own worst critic. But beating yourself up doesn't help, it just adds more stress. Self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook. It means recognizing that you're human. That mistakes and setbacks are part of the process. When you approach challenges with kindness, you're more likely to find creative solutions and keep going. So, here's the takeaway: trying harder isn't the answer. The real key lies in working smarter, resting intentionally, focusing on systems, and being kind to yourself. Life isn't a battle of brute force, it's a puzzle. And the more you step back to see the bigger picture, the more likely you are to solve it. What could you accomplish if you stopped trying harder and started trying differently? Stop pushing harder. Start living smarter. Subscribe for more insights.